The Global Tuner Pro upgrade for Fulcrum tremolos comprises three basic parts: the unit, which is the brass block, a thumb wheel for adjusting your springs in your tremolo, and two stabilizers here, which are spring-loaded. They're meant to sit with your tremolo here so that when your tremolo comes back to initial position, it's exactly where these contact pins hit, so that you have a little bit of reinforcement when you pull strings which would otherwise things, or stabilize your cording. They give easily so that you're transparent and you can still pull up with a fantastic range. We believe the stainless steel and brass add tonal advantage, as well as when the contact pins hit the inner part of the body, we believe the extra contact adds a dynamic sustain and makes your instrument come alive in a unique way you might find desirable. The Global Tuner Pro therefore has to fit a number of different pockets made from over the years that vary. In order to do that, we have, adjustable by a 2mm wrench, the ability to extend the pins out or retract them. In some cases, you may need the supplied 2mm wrench to grab the guide and make your adjustments with the wrench holding it in place. This can occur because we use a thread locker here to keep it stable through the vibratory life of its use. The pins here, you can see more clearly, as being able to extend fully retracted, are great for original pockets, and in the more modern pockets you may find you have a larger extension. For this fitment, we're looking at the pins set up in the most retracted position. I know that this is a little short, but I want to show it for the video. When we flip the guitar, we'll be able to see here that the contact pins hit about there. So we know that the contact pins are way too short to end up here. This way, we'll come back and adjust them. On some guitars, there's a fairly large tremolo pocket, and you can pop it in and out for setup. Otherwise, you really have to pull the tremolo off to do the work. But in this case, it's easy enough for me to show you this here. Also, you don't have to be afraid of the whole setup. Here, I'm going to extend this, let's say, right here for a safety position, right here where this is set up. I'm going to maximize that. That way, this throw will always have a nice bit of something there for the reinforcement, and it has a fairly nice extension. So there I have a fairly nice extension. I'm going to flip the guitar over and see how it positions. Well, it's pretty darn close now, right? Look at that. In that position, we're just dipping down a little bit. In this case, I would flip this over because I wanted to leave the extension, give myself a little bit of room here. Lock, this is my first position for floating. And there you see, tapping in perfectly 90 degrees to the riser post when the contact pins here are hitting the body. That's what you want. Another aspect of the setup is when the contact pins come back to the body. For some guitars, they clunk rather loudly, and we provide you with a felt strip that's about 20 thousandths. It's actually a little less when you take off the adhesive backing. At this point, you can see the contact pin here reaches the body before this one does. It can happen because the guitars are uneven or wear, and this needs to be adjusted or this doesn't. The felt tip, the felt pad, will go in there. So I'm going to put the pad in there and make this a little shorter and check the fit. Now you can see the felt tab pad there, and the contact pins are even and hitting at the same time. Checking that, and there you are, just as it hits. It's sitting in its exact floating position. The next step will be putting on the tremolo springs and tuning the returns. This shows a balanced return when the diaphragms meet the original pitch, and raising the pitch come back to zero. At the same point, you have a balanced return. This is simply achieved here by adjusting these two screws.